Welcome back. It's the O'Charlie's halftime show, and here at the half, the story, the defensive effort of the University of Indianapolis, 22-18. USI leading U of I, and USI has never trailed this basketball game. But Ralph, again, we pointed this out at the end of the first half. USI is averaging over 95 points a game. In fact, the fewest points they have scored in a game all season is 81. They're at 22 with 20 minutes left to play.
Well, I don't know that they're going to put up 73 points this half. It would take an unbelievable effort because defensively the University of Indianapolis made a wonderful adjustment. They went from man-to-man where they're just getting beat up and barely hanging on in this ball game to really making a significant change, and it all came with the way they play their defense. It wasn't outstanding zone defense. It was good, solid defense that just unraveled the offense of USI.
USI scored 13 points in the first 6.5 minutes. They scored 9 in the last 13.5.
And if USI doesn't score, then they don't have the opportunity to set that high-powered offense or defense. They don't have a chance to set their full-court action. And so it really takes USI completely out of both aspects of their ball game.
All right, take a look at the Aqua Systems halftime stats. Both teams shooting in the mid-30s. USI 36%, Indianapolis 33%. From three-point range, both teams ice cold as well. USI 2 of 9, U of I 2 of 11. Free throws not really a factor as fouls weren't a factor in the first half. USI 4 of 6, U of I 2 of 4. Rebounds controlled by USI, but early it was a lot worse than it is now. 18-12 in favor of USI. 6 assists for the Screaming Eagles, 4 for the Greyhounds. 8 turnovers for USI, 7 for Indianapolis. Ralph, we said that early in the half that turnovers only negative in the first minutes for USI. Those slowed down as the pace of the game slowed down. Still, if you're USI, 8 turnovers is a few too many, given the pace of this first half.
You're exactly right, Greg. You know, they'd like to be in that double-digit turnovers created situation, and they're just not getting it done at all, simply because of the volume of opportunities. There are not enough full-court pressure opportunities because USI is not scoring points, not allowed to set up their defense full-court pressure.
It will be Southern Indiana basketball to begin the second half. They will return with their starting 5 of Page, Hall, Wise, Sullivan, and Van Winkle. U of I will count with the same of DeAndre Brock, Scott Strom, Tristan Rogers, Braxton Mills, and Justin Barnard. We are underway, half number 2 here at Nicoson Hall on the U of I television network. Page the basketball, and U of I back in that 1-2-2 half-court zone defense. Page with it left side, looking down low for Wise. Wise has it poked away, but he recovers. Finds Van Winkle. Short corner Sullivan. Baseline jumper, no good. Rebound pulled down by Scott Strom of U of I.
And USI made an offensive change. I saw they ran a baseline cutter, which is something they did not do at all in the first half.
Rogers threw 2 screens off the window. Shot won't go. Mills rebound, can't hang on. Out of bounds, Southern Indiana. That was a stagger, one on the wing, one in the lane for Rogers to get to the basket.
Yeah, and they've just got to go with more authority to the rim. The University of Indianapolis a couple of times. Braxton Mills did it in the first half. Just very somewhat unenthusiastic effort to score the basketball.
That's Page with it now for Southern Indiana. We'll get it out top to Van Winkle. Over to Hall, left side, high post Wise. One dribble, leaves it for Sullivan, flunk. Ends up flushing it home. That's pretty much his range, is dunking the basketball.
Yeah, but not good rotation at all by the University of Indianapolis zone defense. Flat-footed, did not have their hands out, weren't set in a defensive position. They've got an opportunity to do something great here, and they're not taking advantage of it. They've got to get a little fire in their eye.
Barnard back cut Strom, drives all the way and stop, kick out Rogers. One dribble, over to DeAndre Brock, back to Strom. Strom gets a ball screen set for him. Shot clock down to 10. Mills now will dribble on Sullivan. Up, under, off the window. Wild shot will not go. Rebound to Wise. Mills pokes it away. Wise able to track it down. Page on the push. Drive and dish Van Winkle. Baseline wing. 3 is good.
Well, that gives USI a little bit of life. Makes them feel better about themselves right now. Getting a nice 3-point shot.
Quickly they push it to 9. 27-18. 18:09 left to play in the half. And ball was tipped out of bounds by Wise. It will remain U of I basketball.
You know, Greg, I go back again. I just feel the sense of urgency isn't there for University of Indianapolis. You know, the opportunity to go to the basket hard, to set hard screens, to make sharper passes, and they're just not getting it done. Results in situations such as this. Now all of a sudden you're allowing USI to get back in their ball game. let them get that full court pressure. Now they take chances in the passing lanes. So University of Indianapolis has to say, okay, how do we counter this? You got to take control and hit some shots.
Barnard misses that opportunity. Loose ball, though, goes to Mills. His putback is no good. Rebound, Rogers had it. Mills finally will corral it. Get it over to Barnard, and U of I will recycle. Strom, deep three, buries it. Strom's first points tonight come from three-point range. 29-21 USI. All the basketball pressured by DeAndre Brock. Skip pass for Kenny Page. For Wise down low. Baseline pass to Hall. Three in the corner is good. Hall's first field goal. He averages 18 points a ball game. Pushed the lead back to 11, 32-21. Strom with it now, walking to the front court. And a foul's going to be called against Page. Second foul by Page. First team foul of the half against USI.
Here we are, Coach Herdez from Southern Indiana, really telling him to play more aggressive defensively. Got to get into it. He's pounding the floor in front of his bench. All of a sudden his players respond. Kenny Page gets up into him defensively. Gets called for the hand check foul.
Myron Jackson now in for U of I. Kenny Love also in for USI. Jackson replacing sure he replaced in that play. I'm in for Tristan Rogers. And we're going to have a moving string going to be called against U of I. And that foul was negotiated by Rick Hurd as he wasn't happy with the hand check call over here on Kenny Page.
I would say he was lobbying pretty hard for a whistle to be blown their direction.
Foul on Barnard is his second. That is Indy's 9th turnover. Greyhounds now back in that zone defense route.
Well, the zone defense, but it's not as active as it was in the first half. A lot of walking around into their zone positions. They've got to collapse on the ball at the free throw line. They're looking at passes. They're watching passes go in against the zone versus responding or even anticipating.
Timeout going to be called by U of I. It'll be a 30-second timeout. It'll translate to a full. We'll take it with them. 16:26 left to play. Our score, Southern Indiana 34, Indianapolis 21 here on the UIndy Television Network. You can support Greyhound Athletics by logging on to greyhoundclub.uindy.edu or give Matt Donovan and his friends a call in the Greyhound Club office, 788-3359. They support all 21 Greyhound varsity sports programs. Timeout called by Todd Sturgeon. His team quickly losing momentum early in this second half, 34-21. Greyhounds trail by 13. Brock, though, has an open three. Left side, he's hammered by Sullivan. He'll shoot three. Brock, U of I's leading scorer on the season, has 5 today. With a chance for 3 more from the free throw line.
Here again, the ball goes over to Brock. He gets hammered by the big fella from down on the block, Sullivan, when he comes out on it. Shot fake on a situation like that, and Sullivan would still be climbing down off the rafters. He was ready to launch.
Brock to the free throw line on the season, 78%. Gets the friendly roll there. I forget who they were playing, but I called one of DeAndre's high school games at Warren Central. He had 32, 34, and just went off from the floor. Happy to see him find a home here at U of I. Played at Spoon River Community College the last 2 years. Always thought he was a very talented kid that because Warren wasn't a basketball power, kind of got overlooked locally.
Well, that happens when the pool of talent some years is so deep here in the Indianapolis area. It's nice to see kids come back home to Indianapolis and play.
That's the joy of small college athletics. See so many local players. Brock hits 2 of 3. It's an 11-point USI lead. Wise looking to back down Mills. Jump hook in the lane, no good. And they're going to call a foul on Mills. And
I don't know if we'll have a chance to see a replay on this, but let's see if he gets his hips underneath him here. Well, we couldn't see it from that angle, but that looks more like an offensive player broke the plane more than the defensive player got underneath him. But tough call.
And we'll go to the immediate timeout with Southern Indiana having 2 free throws, and we come back. They lead 34-23 over the University of Indianapolis Greyhounds on the UIndy Television Network.
We got a better look at this last foul against Braxton Mills. Here's the ball. He spins. The player spins. Going to come down, make a left foot drop step, and right there, absolutely great camera work. That's the view the official saw, and that's a foul on the defense.
So he didn't see it from that view. He saw it from the same angle we had.
Well, he saw it from the position of the coach from the University of Southern Indiana. Herdez got into these officials about 2 minutes into this second half, and I quite frankly think that he's had a big influence on the way this game has been called the last 3 minutes. He got into them. He wasn't happy. He got into his players. They've responded, and so have the officials. So the University of Indianapolis has to counteract. They've got to believe they can win this ball game, and I'm not convinced that's their mental frame of mind.
Wise hits both free throws, 36-23. Indianapolis trailing. They've got the basketball. Scott Strom, the senior point guard from Avon, on the handle. DeAndre Brock now back over to Strom, looking down low for Justin Barnard. Gets it to him, who squares on Wise. Thinks about the jumper. Back out top to Braxton Mills. Now back to Barnard. Draws the attention of Sullivan. Shot clock at 8. Barnard pivots up,
nice.
Under, shot, score.
That's really good offense, and our big fella's got a sore foot all of a sudden, staying under the basket. Rashad Sullivan jumped up, came down, all of a sudden grabbed his left foot. And that's worrisome.
You've heard of the phrase, somebody fakes you out of their shoes. I think he may have faked him into a sprain.
Well, I think he did. And, I didn't see his ankle twist, but oftentimes in big fellas like that have got long feet, a lot of those fragile bones in the foot can have some crazy motions that hurt pretty bad.
You create some angles and hinges that shouldn't be there.
That's
free
exactly
throw or
right.
Shot is up by Hall, no good. Rebound pulled down by DeAndre Brock. Brandon Hope in for the first time now for Southern Indiana, a freshman from Forest Park. He replaces Sullivan that time. Mills to Brock, deep three for DeAndre Brock. It's short. Rebound controlled by Wise. Lead pass for Hall. Hall floats over to Hope, who has it stripped by Mills. They say Mills got him on the arm. It'll be 2 shots.
Here we're going to take another look at it here. Good motion down the floor. Boy, they get it out. They get a nice pass ahead, a little dump, and then grab the arm. Braxton Mills accumulating some fouls here, Greg.
That's his third. He's the first player tonight that has 3 or more fouls.
Ludlow's going to come in and probably give Braxton Mills a chance to sit down and watch the game from a different angle. Ludlow did a nice job after a few miscues early in the first half. Came back, runs the court hard, gets in positions. Let's see if Ludlow can be a little bit of a spark defensively for this Greyhound squad.
He is by far the biggest Greyhound at 6'8", and a solid 230, 240. Hope hits the first, Hope hits the second. 38-25, back to a 13-point lead. Barnard inbounds to Brock. Brock will kind of hesitate now, bringing it to the front court. Leave it for Tyke Cockerham, who checked in at the last break, replacing Scott Strom. Brock looks to drive, finds an open Cockerham on the baseline. Cockerham will recycle. Over to Jackson. He'll take the corner 3 and hit it. Myron Jackson gets his first basket of the afternoon.
Very critical bucket for the Greyhounds. Get a little excitement, get some faith back in their offense.
Kalakak thinks about the 3 and travels with the basketball. That's 10 turnovers against USI.
And all this occurring, we're going to take another look. Ball gets rotated around. See the defense there. A lot of spacing on the defense. He just traveled with the basketball as he went around the elbow.
Did not set that right foot as he was going to fake the shot. Had both feet in motion. Cockerham on the dribble. Looking for Jackson. Now picks it up. Throws it cross court over to DeAndre Brock. Shot clock at 20. Brock off the ball screen. Drives through it. And a blocking foul coming up here against the freshman in Hope for Southern Indiana.
We're going to see this again. And Brock brings the ball down the right side. Now watch the player that's there available. He makes a little dump pass into Ludlow. Boy, Ludlow all of a sudden has a layup.
And now U of I will call a 30-second timeout as they could not inbound the basketball. Getting back to that play, though, where Jackson could not give it over to Ludlow. I think that's the height and length of Southern Indiana. They just cut down your passing angles. And if you're a guard like Jackson, a 6-foot kid, it's hard to see over all those arms and legs to pass that basketball.
Well, I think that's a great point that you make, Greg, from the standpoint that it takes their vision away more than anything else. I don't think it's an unselfishness. I just think it's a matter that you couldn't see what was going on.
We appreciate you watching us on one of these fine stations/networks today. Comcast Local Hometown Television in Tipton or Hamilton counties. Indiana 9 in Southern Indiana, and on the SkyTrack Weather Network, where Ralph will be getting forecast on the 20s later in the ballgame.
Absolutely.
Why
right
not?
now it's sunny outside and cool.
And inside it's 72 degrees, which is what's important for basketball.
Sunny and cool outside Nicoson Hall on the great south side of Indianapolis.
Cockerham to inbound and throws it to a spot. Loose ball off a Page last, and it'll be out of bounds to U of I. He was looking for Barnard, and as he threw it, Barnard cut to the middle of the floor.
Going to throw it high up over the top, and it's a jump ball. Defensive football player there, play defensive back against the wide receiver.
Inbounds to DeAndre Brock in the baseline corner. Picked up by Calicat. Brock draws the double team. Drive and kick Barnard. Doesn't put it on the floor. Back over to Brock. Shot clock at 23. Finds Jackson. Back to Brock. 3 over. Calicat is good. Brock becomes the first player on either side in double figures with 10. Page the push and a hand check, hip check, shoved to the floor foul called on Ty Cockerham.
Well, Page just went at a different speed from everybody else. Here he goes. He just blows by. And then it's really the reach in from the outside. I couldn't see which player that was in particular, but Cockerham got beat, but I don't think he was the one who was the culprit of the reach in.
Keith Christmas checks in for Southern Indiana. Looks for the cut man in Van Winkle. The ball was it kicked? They're going to call a kick. It'll be out of bounds to USI. Justin Barnard that time on the defensive effort. Make it Jordan Barnard on the defensive effort for U of I. Page will try to inbound the basketball again. Top for Love. Right side Van Winkle. 3 wing Van Winkle. No good. Page skies for the board. Shot blocked though by Barnard. It went off the knee of Page, out of bounds to U of I.
Great defensive effort from the standpoint that both teams going very hard. That's good basketball. Everybody with a lot of energy, not going to give any room going to the rim. Good effort by the Greyhounds.
That was an amazing board by Page. They say he's 5'9". I think he's on a lick over 5'6".
Boy,
he got up.
He certainly did. He out-jumped people. It wasn't luck that it came to him.
Cockerham left side over to Barnard. Barnard looking down low for Ludlow. Probably not the right angle for that pass. Throws it away. 10th U of I giveaway. And now a foul going to be called on Barnard away from the ball on the hook, trying to guard Hope down low.
I think Barnard was trying to get around in front, and that's where the call got whistled on him because he grabbed and pulled to get into position.
DeAndre Brock will have a seat as Keith Radcliffe, the sophomore from Ritter High School, will check in. Played briefly in the first half. Put on the wing to Christmas. Out top to Kenny Love. Now Van Winkle the basketball. Short corner to Christmas. Thoughts about the 18-footer. Now backs down. Stop. Pass tipped away. Take it away. Jackson races back. Has Page to beat. Gets around him. Lays it up and in. It's a 5-point game.
Really great job. And again, it's the defense that's getting it done for the Greyhounds. University of Southern Indiana getting a little slow and tentative. And they want to call timeout. Talk about it.
Another 30-second timeout with 12:45 left to play. We'll go and sneak in a quick break of our own. Hounds got it back within 5 here on the UIndy Television Network. Good job by Myron Jackson. He forced the turnover with his hands, and he gets rewarded with the layup.
Well, he certainly does, and that completes an 8-0 run by the Greyhounds, and they've done it with their defense and the ability to get out and run and score quickly offensively.
Wise back in there now for Southern Indiana, as is Sullivan. So he had the foot injury and came out. Now he's back in the ball game. In fact, starting 5 out there now for the Screaming Eagles. Wise traps, finds Sullivan down low. Left hand got it.
Yep, very good play by USI. Good job by on the cutter to get down underneath. Sullivan shows his effect immediately in off the bench.
40-33, USI in front. Barnard loses the handle. Able to track it down. Finds Cockerham left side. Right side, Barnard, 3. Barnard, no good. Scramble for the loose ball, and a foul going to be called on Ludlow going for the loose ball.
Ludlow, good effort. Yep, missed shot here by Barnard and Ludlow. Watch him go all the way across the floor. Sullivan screens him all the way, but a great job by Ludlow to get there. Unfortunately, just grabbed the arm, got called for the foul. But good trailing with his eyes and arms, get to the rebound.
Page over to Wise. Now right side, Van Winkle for Hall. U of I back in a man-to-man on this possession. They've switched their defenses successfully tonight. Looking down low for Wise. Good defense by Ludlow and Barnard. Barnard fires for Cockerham off the head of Ludlow. Cockerham able to track it down.
Got a chance with a three. Got a chance with a three to get within 2 possessions.
Barnard on the drive. Stop, leaves for Radcliffe. He'll take that three.
Boom.
He'll make that three.
That away.
Radcliffe's
defense
first
going,
bucket.
Greyhounds. Get rewarded for your defense with good offense.
Page stumbles, able to track it down. Here comes pressure. Over to Hall. Now back to Page. High post Sullivan. Leaves it for Page. Page for Van Winkle off the double screen. 3 over Jackson. No good. Rebound Radcliffe. Here come the Greyhounds. Cockerham on the wing for Barnard. Fought 3. Drives baseline. Hand check foul on Wise. It'll be out of bounds when we come back from the media timeout. Quick replay on our way out.
Ball goes to the corner. All of a sudden, dribble drive and gets grabbed. Grabs his jersey. Foul. They'll talk about it.
U of I has the basketball, trailing by 4. 11:06 left to play here on the UIndy Television Network. You see the athletic logo for the University of Indianapolis. You can do your part to help support Greyhound Athletics by finding out more about the Greyhound Club. Call 788-3359. Talk to Matt Donovan or log on to greyhoundclub.uindy.edu to find out more how you can help support the 21 athletic teams here at the University of Indianapolis.
Greg, this Greyhound team coming back, they've just shot the ball extremely well. And they're getting good shots doing it. They're either in transition or set shots off their offense.
Cockerham's pass tipped away, loose ball. Ludlow saves, but it's Hall that has it for USI to Sullivan, who races back and is fouled. They're asking for an intentional foul. It wasn't. He went for the ball and wasn't enough flagrant enough contact for the intentional foul. Sullivan will shoot 2.
Here's the full court pass to Sullivan. Had that simple foot injury, comes back, got his ankle taped, comes back in the ball game, and again, the reach-in foul on the transition.
Good foul by Radcliffe. Makes Sullivan hit him from the line. He is 20 of 31 on the season from the free throw line. There you see head coach Rick Curtis of USI. He has been far from happy with his team this second half. Sullivan misses another free throw. Todd Sturgeon has a lot to be happy about, talking to his bench right now.
Well, happy, but at the same time realizing how close he is to reeling in the big fish, and oftentimes that gets you to tighten up a little bit about your calls and so forth, but I'm sure he's very pleased inside to say, hey, we've got a chance.
Ludlow all alone, goes back, lets Sullivan fly by, lays it up and in.
Extremely smart. Todd Spurgeon with a big smile on his face to the inbound passer, because I think that was something they talked about in a huddle, because that was a pre-planned look.
41-38, Hounds back within 3. This is as close as they've been in a long time. Kenny Page the basketball for USI. Hall off this double screen. His 3 is short. Rebound to Ludlow. Ahead to Barnard. A 3 can tie. Still 10:25 at the play. Ludlow down low. Squares. Drives on Sullivan.
And they
Sullivan flops.
Well, interesting call, but I don't know if here's the replay. Certainly there was body contact. Both players were moving down underneath the paint. Sullivan was getting in position defensively. He was riding along with Ludlow. Ludlow set his hips to make the pivot, got called for the foul. But Ludlow did a great job previous to that on the offense or the defensive rebound, because he held his position at the elbow on Sullivan, got the rebound to start that sequence.
Love back in there for Southern Indiana. He's got the ball in the baseline corner. For Wise out top. Looking for Sullivan down low. Double team turn, jumper no good. Tap no good. Rogers has it for U of I. Cockerham lead past Ludlow. Catch, turn, jump hook is short. Rebound, had it. Fight for it. Radcliffe's got it. He drives. He dishes to Cockerham, and U of I will slow it down.
Patience here, absolutely. Good presence of what's going on in the ball game. Knew what they had. And they have an opportunity here with possession to score.
Shot clock at 17. Rogers looks to drive in the lane, stops, leaves it for Ludlow. 3, Barnard for the tie. Got it!
Great patience by Indianapolis. That is very, very mature basketball, the way they're playing defense, and they kick the ball out in a game that's high tempo to have the presence of mind to reset your offense and then make multiple passes. Good job.
9:18 left to play. Tie ball game at 41. Wise trapped. His pass tipped away out of bounds. It'll be USI ball. The Greyhounds at 2-2 are tied with the number 2 team in the country that when they last played beat them by 25 a year ago. There you see Rick Curtis talking to his kids. I don't think he's happy with the intensity that his kids have brought today, or lack thereof.
Well, they've just been unable to break the code against this zone defense. They did well early in the second half with a baseline runner and getting some three-corner shots, but now when they go in or when they go to the elbow, they're non-productive.
Van Winkle on the wing. Head fake, dribbles it off his foot. Out of bounds to U of I. That's 12 USI turnovers.
Jeff Van Winkle, rare that he's going to turn it over like that. He's more of a set shooter. Put the ball on the floor, kicked it off his toe.
Cockerham dribbles by Young. Nick Brooks now in the game for USI. Braxton Mills back in there for the Greyhounds. Gets it over to Tristan Rogers. Greyhounds looking for their first lead of the game. Mills on the wing. Thinks about the drive, thinks better of it, gets it over to Radcliffe. Radcliffe off the ball screen. Finds Rogers. Shot clock at 10. Rogers on the drive, in the lane, floater, no good. Good look, wouldn't go. USI the basketball.
Going to push it. He's going to go right down into the paint, try to make something happen.
Love stops his runner, will not go. Mills the rebound for U of I. Mills fires ahead to Radcliffe and throws it too hard. You got to value that basketball, kids.
Yeah, you're certainly right, Greg, and that's the point. To be well said, we threw a lot of accolades on them in the last couple of possessions because University of Indianapolis was patient. Then all of a sudden, wow, quick pass down the floor, just mishandled it.
Love with the handle. Tied at 41, 8:13 left to play. DeAndre Brock now back in there for the Greyhounds, applying defensive pressure. Ball off the screen from Brooks. Strom back in there as well, replacing Cockerham. Brooks down low. Got away with a hook. Turns in the lane. Dishes to Van Winkle, who leaves it for Hall. Hall will take the deep three and hit it. Big shot for USI. Hall's second field goal.
Wonderful leadership by the number 1 player on his jersey.
Strom with the dribble. Pressured by Love. Now over to Brock. 7:37 left to play. Barnard on the wing. Drives in the lane. Stops. Leaves it for Mills. Drives on Wise. Now kicks to an open Rogers. Takes a step and draws a foul. He was passing the ball away, so it'll be out of bounds after the immediate timeout on the 15th foul against USI.
Braxton Mills cut it on the baseline, but then all of a sudden, the drive into the middle, Tristan Rogers did a nice job, but instead of after the contact, been great if he'd have gone up to the rim, couldn't get her done.
7:25 left to play. It's 44-41 USI in front on the UIndy television network. It's time for today's Edie's Great Greyhound Moments. David Logan on February 26, 2005 became the all-time leading scorer in U of I history, passing the great Bailey Robertson, scoring his 2,352nd point. That is our Edie's Great Greyhound Moment.
Well, we've certainly got a pretty great moment going here this afternoon at Nicoson Hall, just the way the Greyhounds are playing against the number 2 team in the country.
Brock, the drive, the spin, the runner. Shot blocked by Wise. Brock got it back. Scramble for the loose ball. Kicked by Brooks. Brooks fires it wildly. Gets it to Barnard. Barnard up, under, shot. Got it. Justin Barnard with 9. And we've got a player hurt for Southern Indiana. We're going to stop it right now as Wise, not sure if it's thigh or abdomen, but he kind of came up lame in the various scrambles for loose balls on that possession.
Well, a lot of bodies flying around, knees up high into ribs and thighs, and so a lot of contact. Let's manage the game. If he's on the floor, let's get it in, let's go. But exciting basketball here this afternoon. 2 teams that are just, and the University of Indianapolis broke the mold of what USI wanted to do this afternoon. USI has had to try to come back and get back in their rhythm, and they're not doing it.
Just a little 1-4 set from USI, trying to isolate Love, and he went right to the basket. Brock commits the foul. First on DeAndre Brock.
Just drove into a lot of traffic. Again, that's the USI just goes sometimes. I don't see the vision that they have of where the openings are, but a lot of times they get bailed out just because of the contact that's created.
Love on the season, 2 of 6 from the line, but calmly strokes that one through. He's got 5 points. Love is from South Bend. Played his high school ball at South Bend Adams, but originally started his career at Oregon. Love's free throw is up. This one is good as well. So back to a 3-point lead for USI, 46-43. Again, pressure applied, straight man, Mills with the basketball. We'll get it over to Scott Strom. Strom, the veteran floor general for this UIndy squad. Finds Brock cross court, guarded by Wise. Shot clock at 17, game clock at 6:39. Rogers on the wing, has an opening, drives, dishes wildly. Brock bails him out. Now Strom, runner to Rogers from 17. Got it.
Good passing game by Indianapolis. Southern Indiana just sort of weakened defensively as they got deeper in the shot clock.
That's Hall looking for Brooks. Catches. Strom there to apply defensive pressure. Could have been a charge, but probably just better as a no call. I'd rather see him let him play. It'll be out of bounds to USI.
You know, ball goes down into Nick Brooks. He always turns and pivots. He's always going to face up. And when he's down on the block like that, there's no room to really do anything but just pivot and go to the rim. Defensively, good rotation down on the backside. Created the ball going out of bounds.
Rashard Sullivan back in now, replacing Brooks. USI shot clock at 22. U of I back in that zone that worked so well for him in the first half. Wise to Sullivan. That's an easy one.
Yeah, again, rotation. That we talked about in the first half. University of Indianapolis doesn't play zone all the time, and those are the little intricacies that fall apart. How do you play your areas? What are your rules of the zone? That time it broke down.
U of I tied it at 41. Since then, USI's had a lead by 1 or 2 or 3 over the last few minutes. Strom to Rogers. Guarded by Kalakak. Looking for Brock. Trying to hide behind a screen for a tying 3. Shot clock at 7. At 6. Brock at 5. At 4. At 3. Finds the cutter and Barnard. Ball knocked away. It'll be out of bounds to U of I with 1 on the 35.
Well, we got very stagnant. University of Indianapolis Greyhounds got very flat-footed offensively there on that possession. They're just pounding the air out of the basketball out on the perimeter, and the movement wasn't achieving anything. It was just movement to hope that things would happen.
Got to be a catch and shoot for U of I. Rogers is open and dunks it, but he had to shoot it quicker.
Yep, had to touch it.
He had to shoot it quicker.
You know, he had to go up, and really in that situation, you've got to throw the ball up there and tap it versus grab and release.
And the time it took him to carry it to the basket.
Yeah. And one of the things with this shot clock, you don't know where it is in that 1 second. Is it just under 2 or is it just under 1? You know, those are things you don't know.
So a waste of possession for U of I. Love on the handle for these Screaming Eagles. It's the ball screen from Sullivan out top. Now back to Kenny Page, who just checked back in. That's Kalakak for Love. Going to drive, finds Page. Shot clock at 11. Kalakak down low. Pass tipped away out of bounds by U of I. It'll be Southern Indiana ball, but 8 on the 35.
Justin Barnard did a nice job again at recognizing where he could help defensively. He comes from the opposite block to over double team on the ball. Creates the delay here in the offense for USI.
Coming into today's game, USI was averaging 95 points a game. They had not scored fewer than 81. It's 48-45 USI. Page, a deep 3. No good. Rebound tip. Sullivan tipped it right over the backboard. Out of bounds to U of I. So what a defensive effort today by the Greyhounds.
Well, here's the shot. A deep three-point shot goes off the back of the rim. And then just a lot of people flying through the air. Sullivan, the big man at 6'8", out of USI, tips it over the backboard.
DeAndre Brock the basketball. He'll bring in the front court for the Greyhounds. Picked up by Kenny Love. Love applying good defensive pressure. Now Barnard's got it for U of I. Left side Brock, 3 for the tie. No good. Rebound goes to Love. It was a good look for Brock, though.
Certainly was. He had spacing on his defender. You've got to take that shot if that's a shot you're comfortable with the defense sagging off of you.
Wise double team, fires it, throws it away. Rogers, outlet pass to Strom. Strom look ahead for Brock. Brock was going for a jump shot. He'll fire from 15 and make it.
You know, Brock almost pulled up because he thought Strom was going to keep it himself, and then also it was a give and go almost. Nice job.
48-47. Here comes the double down on the post for U of I. Skip pass for Page. Page looks to penetrate in the lane. Jump stop. Lost the handle. Rebound goes to Van Winkle. He's stripped by Strom, and U of I's got it. Lead pass to Brock. To the basket. He's fouled. It will not go, but if he hits both free throws, the Greyhounds have their first lead with 3:53 left to play.
Well, the Greyhounds have been climbing the ladder all day. They've gotten tied up, but they've never taken the lead today. And so this is a great opportunity for that first lead change of the ball game. Here we go with the high pass cross court. Page going to come into the lane. Good help defensively. Gets all turned around. Ball gets stripped away. Strom does a nice job of getting the basketball. Good help defense, and then heads up. Ball down the floor.
DeAndre Brock didn't hit the layup. He'll have 2 free throws, and we return on the U of I television network. U of I has kept it close after getting down early, 13-2. They've hung around and hung around and hung around. They tied it at 41. Now DeAndre Brock will have a couple of free throws to give the Hounds their first lead with 3:53 left to play.
You know, key trends in this ball game today. This is a high-powered offense, USI, and fast break points, USI 4 today.
Brock hits the free throw. He's got 13. He's the only player on either side in double figures today. We are tied at 48. There you see DeAndre, the junior out of Warren Central High School. Played for Scott Hetty over at Warren Central. Free throw, Brock. Got it. Greyhounds lead. Brock will get a brief break as Keith Radcliffe will check in. Radcliffe has done some good things today for U of I.
Boy, he certainly has, and they've come in. Their defensive effort again. I just keep going back to that. And now their offense is starting to catch up with their defense. They're being more patient, being more opportunistic.
Wise looking for Sullivan down low. Feeds it to him, draws a double team, give and go to Wise. He stumbles but finds Van Winkle for a 3. He missed it. Sullivan, the rebound, the putback, he's fouled. And again, if you're U of I, even though that's Mills' 4th foul, you make him earn it from the line.
Absolutely. Good collapse. Here we go. Everybody's going to fight for the rebound. Boy, Barnard just got pushed out of the way by Sullivan's body. But that's basketball. You've got to fight for it inside there. Put him on the line.
Hey, late in the game, let him go. Let the players earn it.
Yeah, you call that foul, and we'll be here till tomorrow.
So Sullivan to shoot 2. He's 1 for 2 from the line today. He's got 9 points. Free throw is no good. On the season, Sullivan, a 65% free throw shooter. 49-48 U of I, 3:33 left to go. Sullivan, formerly played at Arkansas. One of many D1 transfers in this USI roster. Second free throw. He got the roll. We're tied at 49. Sullivan now with 10.
Let's see if they turn up the full court pressure here defensively. If they trap. Doesn't look like they're going to trap. They're just going to drop back.
Cockerham now in there for U of I. Todd Sturgeon going with his backup guards here in this possession or two. Going to give his starters a final break before a final 3-minute push. Radcliffe on the wing. Drives in the lane. To the hoop. Scoop shot. Got it.
Had the lane. USI flat-footed on their defense. No one rotated.
Radcliffe with 5. 51-49 U of I. 3:05 left to play. Wise for Sullivan. Tipped by Mills. Taken by Mills.
Big play. Big defensive play. Good presence. Not to foul. Just stay with the basketball.
Cockerham with the basketball. U of I with the ball and the lead. 2:50 left to play. Off the screen from Mills. Tries to split the defender. Give and go Mills. He got fouled. On the way up, he'll shoot 2. He never had possession of it, but got fouled as he was going up. He'll get free throws.
Watch this slip screen here. He'll just turn. What a great pass. Just a really nice job.
And that's the second time we've said great job on the slip screen tonight by U of I.
Well, they do a nice job. They're two-man game. They've got their eyes wide open. They're heady. They communicate extremely well. Just really nice to watch. And Van Winkle tried to come over and get in that play defensively. It was too late to get there.
Mills hits the free throw. He's got 5. He's 3 of 5 from the line today. Hall back in there replacing Love. Hall is by far their best outside shooter. He's got 2 threes tonight. Came in as their leading scorer per ball game at 18 per game. Mills' second free throw is short. Rebound controlled by Wise. It's a 1-possession lead for U of I. 52-49 with 2:40 left to play. That's Hall. Pressure applied by Radcliffe. Now Van Winkle, also a dangerous 3-point shooter. To Page on the wing. Looking for Hall. Head fake, draws the foul. Yep. Got Radcliffe in the air. Heady play by the senior in Melvin Hall.
This is just a really nice job. They bring the ball up, and then he just does a great Reggie Miller impression here, getting your defender in the air and then just throwing your body into him. Tremendous heads-up basketball play.
These should be automatic for Hall, a 93% free throw shooter. First one is up, and he hits it. Hall, a senior from Harrison High School. If you're familiar with your geography of Evansville, that is the east side of Evansville. USI on the other side of town, the west side. Hall hits the second free throw. He's got 8. All coming in this half. 52-51. UIndy in front. 2:28 left to play. Third free throw is good. Tie ball game. Here comes the pressure.
Critical to get the ball inbound and take care of it.
Did Cockerham touch it? Yes, he did. Out of bounds to USI.
Well, there's what USI does best. They can go to a different gear whenever they want to. And that time they got in the passing lane, did a nice job. Kenny Page just got enough of it to tip it off of Tristan, and away they go.
Reed Ludlow in for defensive purposes, replacing Mills. Page, the drive, the runner. He draws the foul on Cockerham. So Page will now shoot 2 free throws. Foul on Cockerham will be his third.
Well, the 2 guards here, Melvin Hall and Kenny Page, have just taken over the last 20 seconds of this ball game, and they've swung it with what they've done. You'll see the replay here. He just goes extremely hard, gets his people in the air. You know, defensively, you got to give University of Indianapolis credit. They're aware of where the basketball is, and they're aggressive getting there. But the guards for USI really asserted themselves here.
Page missed the free throw. On the season, Page, 38% from the line for a guard. Page to shoot one more. 52 all, 2:23 left to play. Free throw by Page. Got it. Back to a 1-point USI lead. Page now with 8 points. Barnard inbounds to Braxton Mills. We'll get it over to Cockerham, who will bring it to the front court. Little surprised to see Strom and Brock still on the bench, Ralph.
Well, it is getting pretty deep in the clock, and Todd seems to be very happy with the 5 he's got on the floor.
Mills with the basketball left side over to Radcliffe. Back over to Rogers left side. Had an opening, didn't take it. Now back to Radcliffe. Over to Barnard. Shot clock at 11. Radcliffe on the left wing. Off the screen from Cockerham. Now at 6.
Getting pretty late.
At 5. At 4. Radcliffe at 3. Has to take the deep 3. It's up and no good, with a long rebound. Goes to Barnard. Barnard drives baseline. Finds Cockerham. His 3 for the lead. No good. Mills. Rebound. Put back. It's goaltended. It's goaltended. They got it. Goaltended by Sullivan.
Well, University of Indianapolis dodged the bullet because they were able to get another 3 back up, and then the athleticism of Braxton Mills to be fully extended, catch the ball, come down, and pop right back up. Great athleticism.
And a timeout going to be called by USI. We'll take in a final quick break as well. Minute 32 left to play. Greyhounds in front, 54-53, here on the UIndy Television Network. USI has one more timeout remaining. U of I has 2. Greyhounds in front, 54-53. Screaming Eagles have the ball with a minute 32 left to play. 29 on the shot clock as they enter it from the sidelines. Page with it. Left side over to Hall. Hall for Wise. Down low for Sullivan. Pass tip taken away by Indianapolis. 15th USI turnover, and Cockerham will walk into the front court. Looking left side for Tristan Rogers, the sophomore from Kokomo. Now that's Justin Barnard with it, the junior from Waldron High School. Radcliffe has it now. Game clock a minute 2. Shot clock at 17. Cockerham, the sophomore from Cathedral, with the basketball now. Shot clock down to 10. Cockerham leaves it for Rogers. Rogers penetrates in the lane between defenders. Shot would not go. Wise the rebound for USI. 45 seconds to play. Page for Wise, left side Hall. Hall looking for Sullivan. Sullivan backs down Ludlow, spins, turns, shot up, no good. Rebound Wise, loses it. It's knocked out of bounds by U of I. It'll be USI ball. The shot clock, though, is now turned off with 33 seconds to play.
Nice job by Ludlow again defensively on Sullivan. Does a nice job of going straight up. Just unfortunate they didn't get the defensive rebound, and then got bailed out by a loose ball flying out of bounds.
USI will call their final timeout with 33 seconds left to play. We will keep it here. 54-53, UIndy in the lead, trying to knock off the number 2 team in all of Division II basketball.
You know, USI, when they see that 3-2 zone by the University of Indianapolis, what they'll do a lot of times, they'll bring the ball to one of the wings, left or right, then they'll pull a post man up to the top of the key to sort of play their point guard position. I would say, in my estimation, watching that this whole second half has not been real successful for them. And so what they've got to do is I think they've got to put the ball on the floor and drive in and try to get either a dribble drive in against the Greyhounds, or they've got to put it on the floor with a bounce pass.
You can, of course, hear the Greyhounds and all their men's and women's basketball games coming up on 88.7 FM WICR. There's a list of the upcoming women's basketball games you can hear. Ohio Valley, Brescia out of Kentucky, and Harris Stowe State College coming up on the 20th, 22nd, and 29th of December. Hear all those games on 88.7 FM WICR. Of course, the Greyhounds, after their finals break, will play 3 teams from the GLIAC coming up. Saginaw Valley here, then Wayne State and Ferris State up in Detroit. Then after that, a trip that unfortunately Ralph and I weren't invited to, Hawaii Pacific and Chaminade on the 29th and 30th of December.
Well, I hope they enjoy the trip.
You and I have both called games from Hawaii before.
Yes, we have.
You and I have both followed our teams in the Rainbow Classic.
Right. It's been enjoyable. It's a beautiful place on this earth to be, is Hawaii, but sometimes at the holidays, as life goes on, I enjoy being around home a little bit.
USI to inbound the basketball. Hall with it on the wing. Pressured by Myron Jackson, who just checked in, replacing Cockerham. Again, shot clock is off. Greyhounds lead 54-53. Page on the wing, looking to drive in the lane. Runner is up, and he got the roll with 20 seconds to play.
There we go, get it in quickly.
Radcliffe has it for U of I. The Greyhounds can call 2 timeouts. They'll call one right now with 16 seconds to play. Page gets the bucket. We'll take a quick timeout. 15.7 left to go. 55-54, USI in front on the UIndy Television Network. Well, I think if you would have told Todd Sturgeon his team would have a chance to win the ball game on the final possession, he would take it. 55-54 USI with 15.7 seconds left to play. U of I does have one more timeout. USI is out of timeouts. Rogers, to inbound the basketball, gets it to Strom. Strom takes it towards the right side. Clock is at 11. Strom for Brock at 9. Brock at 7. Brock at 6, at 5, stumbles, pass tip, finds Barnard, head fake, he got fouled. Now was it 3 or 2?
3 shots.
Was it 3 or 2? I think it was 2.
Yep, the official called it immediately. I don't know if we've got a camera angle from where his feet were, but what a great heads-up play. A couple of miscues, they weren't clean passes, but the ball got into the corner. Barnard handled it, did a nice job of, here we'll see a replay of it.
We're going to take a look at this here.
Defense nice. He stumbles on his crossover, but then what a heads-up play by
2.
Barnard.
And that's a very good call by the official. His foot was inside the line. That is a 2-shot foul. So timeout called by Southern Indiana. They are now out of timeouts. So Barnard will have 2 free throws, one to tie, the second one to take the lead with 1.7 remaining. Again, USI calls for the timeout. So they are now out of timeouts. They will not have a chance to call the timeout and set a play if Barnard hit both of these free throws. On the season, Barnard is just 3 of 5 from the free throw line. The junior from Waldron has never had a bigger shot in his career as a U of I Greyhound.
Well, it'd be amazing how these 2 free throws could really reset the vision of this basketball team for this season. When I talked to Coach Sturgeon at practice on Tuesday, very concerned about his 2 upcoming opponents this week. If they got swept, they're looking at a 1-4 start. They win on Thursday. Now they get this win today against the number 2 team in the country. All of a sudden, your focus, you get a little spring in your step.
Barnard's free throws got it. He's got 10. For defensive purposes, Jackson and Radcliffe are in. Strom and Brock have a seat. U of I will back some players off the free throw line. They're going to match up and play man-on-man defensively here.
Smart defense, just can't foul.
Barnard free throw for the lead. Got it. No timeouts for USI. Wise will throw it the length of the floor.
Go out of bounds.
It's a jump ball. It's out of bounds. Touch last by Barnard. Barnard touched it last. Now, because he touched it, that gives USI a chance to set up for a look here in the half court. So that's a huge break for USI.
It certainly was.
USI is out of timeouts. 0.7. There is time to catch and shoot.
They're going to try to create contact and get the whistles to blow.
Wise looking, finds Van Winkle. Shot up. He missed it. U of I has sprung the upset. They have beat the number 2 team in the country in Southern Indiana. The final score tonight, 56-55. U of I has done it.
And they deserve that celebration. A great strategic game, playing the zone. Todd Spurgeon, a great effort by this Greyhound club on this Saturday afternoon in Indianapolis.
And this doesn't happen very often at home or on the road, but the Greyhounds just swept USI and Kentucky Wesleyan in one weekend. That does not happen in the GLVC. We'll take this final timeout. We'll come back again to One America post-game show next. U of I wins it on the UIndy television network. A great win for the University of Indianapolis. 56-55, they hand USI, the number 2 team in the country, their first loss of the season. 2 things would have made it sweeter. One thing, if it had been a night game, there's always a few more fans here for the evening games. The second thing, those darn finals got in the way. A lot of students are at home studying today, been not here for this game. Hopefully they'll catch all these various replays of this game, Ralph, because this is one that Todd Sturgeon's going to want to watch over and over again. USI averages 95 points a game. They scored 55. They hadn't scored fewer than 81 all season long. The last time U of I played USI, they got beat by 25 last year, and they beat them 56-55 today on a couple of free throws by Justin Barnard with 1.7 seconds left to go. What a day for the Greyhounds.
Well, it's just a banner day. This is a defining moment for this basketball team, University of Indianapolis. Just really uncertain of their personality. Didn't know who was going to step up for the Greyhounds. Talking to the coaching staff earlier this week, Thursday and today answered a lot of questions for this Greyhound program. University of Indianapolis, or University of Southern Indiana, they'll recover.
Sure.
They'll go back. They'll start scoring 80-some points a game again, and they'll be someone to reckon with. But today, it's the Greyhounds' day.
We'll give you some of the important stats. We're going to get you the players of the game, both offensively and defensively as well, here on the One America post-game show. We'll start with our offensive player of the game for the Greyhound Club in Justin Barnard.
Well, Justin Barnard, 4 for 6 from the floor today, 1 from 3, three-point arc, but most importantly, he stepped up to the line for 2 free throws only today, and those were the final 2 points of the ball game, and he hit them both. Let's
go to the defensive player of the game as well, and this is another junior in Reed Ludlow off the bench. He played just 13 minutes. He had 2 points and 4 boards, but I think he did a great job just bodying up and matching the intensity of Southern Indiana starting center Rashard Sullivan.
I think inside he was really the hub of the defense, this zone of the University of Indianapolis. When he was in there, he did a nice job of anticipating. He had good footwork. Bottom line is he stopped people inside, and that's why he's the award winner today.
And as we wrap up the One America postgame show, Ralph, simply your final thoughts on this one.
Well, it's extraordinary. It's as an alum, I have to be biased, and you too. What a great day for University of Indianapolis. But I loved it so much strategically. Come out in a man-to-man, University of Indianapolis. They're just getting blown out of the gymnasium. Make a change, go to zone, set their defense, and they change the whole tempo of this ball game.
The next time you can join us here on the University of Indianapolis Television Network will be the last regular season game, February the 24th, when the Greyhounds host Northern Kentucky. Unfortunately, I won't be able to be here. Scott McCulley will be in this seat, but Ralph will be back. Ralph, a tremendous pleasure working with you today. Great job this afternoon. Thanks, as always, to our great crew from Hometown Sports, making the two of us look as good as they possibly can on this Saturday. But the Greyhounds helped that script as well. They win it today, 56-55. It's on the University of Indianapolis Television Network.